What's up, guys? Mikey in the building. Hey, I'm gonna go over IVVD. First of all, I think we had a great day in the market. We had IVVD, PBLA, BMRA. That's pretty much. There's a few other names that kind of ran. I'm just gonna focus on this IVVD. Did catch a decent little long, right, on this one, but I've really caught a nice short. And instead of just going over a lot of like absorptions that I keep seeing on the bottom of stocks and stuff like that. I wanted to touch base on the short that I caught because I saw buyers get absorbed more than anything on this one, right? This is a biotech, had great phase 3 news or things like that. This daily, right? The daily on this one was pretty phenomenal. And the reason why I say that is because it had a lot of sideways action, okay? And then it had a slight gap up on the daily. When I look for sideways consolidation, moreover than stocks that are just kind of bleeding, I mean, similar to this, right? When it trades sideways for a while, consolidates, and then actually gets some good volume coming in, then to me, there's not a lot of obvious spots that are potential swing shorts are in, or that level that people are prepared to short against. So this thing had some huge sideways consolidation and then it gapped up. So it gapped up, right, over almost a year's worth of, or okay, so it's 12, so 10 months worth of consolidation. All right. And now once you start breaking the daily down, there's a couple of breakdown zones right here. I put one right here. And then I kind of zoomed out a little bit and went further back to try to match up some confluence around the chart in general, right? I always have my crosshairs on my chart. So, and while I'm trying to develop any type of zones, I make sure that they do have some confluence. So I'm not sitting here putting a zone like every little spot and then putting one all over here and then all over here, right? It makes the chart too messy, and then it kind of just messes with your head, or messes with my head at least, right? Everyone does things differently, and that's fine. So I do that, right? I do that. I just want to know where the main purpose that I found out by just drawing some zones, keeping them simple, is to find out where I am at on the chart intraday while we're trading, to see when heavy volume comes in and then see when the volume dries up, right? Things like that, okay? So I'll break down the book on this one. This was great. The reason why I'm even breaking down this daily in this sense is because once we cleared out 265s, there was straight room to start filling more of the gap on the daily, right? And when I mean gap, like this could be a big gap to fill right here, and then more if it starts to break over, these 335s, and there's more room to, I think there's more room to potentially test any breakdown zone on the daily that rejected. So maybe this is supply now, right? Can't get over, dumps, things like that, and so on, right? Some breakdown zones over here and over here, where it tries, it fails, consolidates, finally gets over, and then can't get over this previous breakdown area over here. If this daily would have went nuts, I would have continued just to throw them on there, but that wasn't the case. All right, that wasn't the case. Now this thing did go parabolic, right? It did run pretty much 200, almost 200%, or sorry, 100 and something percent on this, from twos all the way to 468s. It closed at 120%. This is a good runner. Then I started to see this thing consolidate for too long. Break down the book. Let's see. I did catch a nice short off 444, and then I also did pyramid some of this right here. But I didn't pyramid it correctly because I ended up dropping my average down a little bit too much, and that's fine because I covered mine pretty much all against. I really wanted 320s and 3 to crack. I'll show you on the book really and break that down a little bit more clear. Here goes that parabolic move real quick before I do that. So if you kind of looked at the daily and saw the structure and breakdown structure between sideways consolidation and then previous breakdown zones that can potentially become supply, where you see areas get rejected and then they have no more follow through to the upside and then start bleeding out. It became really thin and really open. So on the daily, they had a lot of space. On this book, all right, this gave a few great opportunities uh, to go long on when there was some previous areas of interest and areas that didn't have um, a big breakdown, and these were buyers were getting absorbed, right? There's a little algo thing going on right here too. I've been seeing these a few times. Really nice control, really tight price action, and then this is where sellers get exhausted right here, and then there's big continuation. I'm gonna go to the top though, and I want to break down why I took my short and what I was seeing on the book, right? Okay, this is where I took my short on here. The reason why I took this short for a couple reasons, right? For some lower high structure, okay, very important. Uh, you know, right? So this is the high right here. Then we get another high right here, and then we get another high right here. All right. So anytime I see something pull back and then try to retrace and there's no follow through, now I'm starting to see that lower high structure. Okay. The reason why I circled both of these sections too, right here and right here, the way they priced or the way they auctioned the price action on this was very similar. Okay. Oops. Okay. Um, let me get that. Okay. It's very important, right? They had an offer right here. Okay. And if you start to see in the book, they removed the liquidity. They opened up this pocket, and then there was no more follow through. And then you see a little lower high right here as well on a smaller time frame. All right, so they did this right here. There's no follow through. Then you would start to see them throw in offers again right here. Okay, there is nothing that was no different right here. But the only thing right here is, right, it's very important if you're utilizing the book to start to make sure you see what's going on. Because if you look at this without zooming in, it's going to paint a different story. All right. First of all, for me right here, with all this buying pressure, continuous buying pressure right here, with no follow through, this was showing me in context for this not making a new high, and then zooming in that these buyers were getting absorbed. All right, very similar to when I'm longing things, soaking at the bottom, or I'm looking for reversals. I'm looking for absorption. I want to see when buyers are getting, or sorry, when sellers are getting absorbed in the beginning, and then when are the buyers getting absorbed, and then there's no more follow through, so I need to bail and take my profits. All right. As I break this down and open this up, for one, you're going to start seeing some liquidity being removed, but it's in between, you know, 449 and 450, so it's like a midpoint fill almost. As this best offer goes inside this other liquidity, there's no more appetite or there's no follow through. Okay, so someone got here pretty much filled midpoint, right? There's no more follow through right here, and there's the support, right? The support is there's no true support where you will see this breakout, and then on the book there's a bidder coming in. Okay, so basically what would happen is okay, cool. Take this for instance, for an example, for people who want to learn a little bit. You'd see some buyers step up right here on the book, and this is just what I'm seeing, right? And then you would see a bidder immediately pull up right underneath here, either here, okay, or you would see something where this would start to break out, and then it would do an immediate book flip right here. So now this is the offer, right? This is your offer right here. Okay, cool. Boom. And then all of a sudden now this becomes a bid. And then essentially this would be a book flip. Okay, this is a true book flip right here. All right, the book flips. All right, right here. Now this becomes support. And then your best offer, okay, your best offer would sit here, crack through this, and now start trading right here. and potentially go into the next offer or whatever liquidity that it's trying to hunt or find, and see if buyers are going to be aggressive. And then that's when you'll start to see bids and more buyers kind of step up. Boom, boom. Where's the next magnet? Maybe the next magnet is sitting over here with some liquidity. So then it'll start to go get tested in a sense like this. And then now it's like, okay, our bids, our buyers or bidders, right, are going to step up and support this type of price auctioning that's going on, right? Okay. All right, so that did not happen right here. So then I started to take my short. It was pretty hard to get on here. First of all, Thinkorswim, thank you so much for having shorts available. Uh, Today was a great day because I was able to go long and then short. My best days are when I get to play both sides of the game. And I always say that because, I practice so much going long, right? Utilize the book so much to go long, and it's like, well, I know when to get out. I know when to say, hey, well, this book is starting to shift now. Where we're trading at is first of all, I wouldn't want to go long here if I never traded this, right? So, risk is pretty clear. To me, it's just like buying when I see a buyer, when I see a seller get absorbed, the selling kind of stops, and then it's like, okay, it's a pretty good risk off area if that makes sense for people to follow. And people who are in the room, they definitely know what that is. And we went over some examples of that on Sunday, which was epic. All right. Okay. No more follow through, and then now there's this pretty much empty space. Okay. Empty space, and then look what happens right here. This is very important because they pull. This is an area where they pull. Okay. There's some bid support following this price action, but then there's no bid supporting this higher price action. Okay. They throw up a bidder right here. Okay, cool, 7,500. They're pulling it a little bit, 9K. But as price action starts to come in and offers start to come in over this, now they're being pulled. Okay, there's a little bit bid support right here. All right, that gets sold into. Liquidity gets removed. Well, actually, if you see this right here, some of it was pulled, and then all of a sudden these were sold into. All right, very important. Okay. That's why I took this short. This short consolidated for a very long time. Okay, again, on the book. Okay, super, super important, right? Look at all this empty space, empty space, empty space, okay, and so on, right? Then this thing literally sat here and consolidated for a very long time, in my opinion. I mean, you had to sit here from 11:30 all the way to 1300, so and an hour and a half. It took a while, right? It could have been frustrating if you were okay, if you were didn't get any averages up close up top up to here, and then now you're trying to catch this, and you're getting slippage as you're shorting, and now your average is somewhere right here, and now you're averaging into this position, and then you might have got swiped right here. Okay, maybe a couple spots where you see initiation, and then you kind of stop out to keep a tight wrist depending on your size, right? There's a couple scenarios that could happen in this situation. The book did not change in the sense again, okay? There's a couple of spots right here where buyers get absorbed. Right here and right here, okay? Actually, oh, let me break this up. Sorry. Okay. So, whoops. Don't mind that. Okay. Buyers get absorbed all through right here. A bidder steps up right away, right, to try to trap some longs, 15K, and then immediately gets sold into and pulls back, consolidates. But these buyers up here are all getting absorbed. There's no more follow through, right? This best offer is not opening up, and instead it's trading really tight. They throw a bid right here to potentially trap, and then they yank it. Okay, did that multiple times. This time over here, some more again. Buyers get absorbed. There's 10,000 shares going through, 5,000 and 7,000. Now, as you zoom in, you're going to start seeing the orders get split up. So these are different orders, but essentially, as a group, right? These are what the volume dots are doing. There's a cluster of buyers right here aggressive market buyers. All right, and then this thing finally gives out, right? Seller comes over here and takes out some of this bid support liquidity on the book. Um, it traps one more time, and then finally get the move. It was like a very rewarding short for me because I had to wait a while. You know, I think the most important thing that I had before I averaged down into this um, is that I had a really great average up here. So I was able to just watch this kind of pop up and not be super reactive, and then look to see if bids were falling up and if the book started to thin out, right? Because there was always offers, right? There's always offers on this. All right, my average is 444. I needed to see some change of character on the book for me just to give up my average on that. Um, I did take some short again on this pop right here. Um, if I zoom out of the book, you're going to see that this was an area that they were swiping and painting for a little bit. Very close to right here on the book. I kind of go off where the best bids are and look at these as pivots, right? I don't know what the candlestick. Okay, I can go on the candlestick chart real quick. That's cool. That's all right here too. So this kind of bounce right here on the candlestick started to flag up against this. There's a backside bounce right here. There was no follow through, and they kind of did it again over here, consolidated. This actually closed sideways. That's nice. We'll see if we'll get some continuation on that one. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to go through on the book. Kind of wanted to show a little different of buyers getting absorbed rather than sellers getting absorbed, and then there's no follow through on that downside. Okay. All right, guys. Much love. Peace out, Mikey.